blue light, and you spoke a little bit about cancer and how blue light has been found to increase breast cancer. And sometimes on the podcast, we have to like shy away from this whole topic, but this is well established. And like you said, in 2007, blue light was, established as a known carcinogen or probable carcinogen. So let's talk a little bit about how it increases cancer risk and how it increases the risk for metabolic um, insufficiencies and metabolic disease as well.
Yes, absolutely. Now, so why do we care about, blue light exposure in the evening hours and nighttime hours? It's because of this very disruptive effect. One key thing it does is suppress melatonin. Now, melatonin is the hormone normally released by your pineal. It's the darkness signal for the body. It's not a sleep hormone. It's actually the hormone that is triggered by the absence of light, allowed to come out and peak around 2 o'clock in the morning, and then it disappears by the time you wake up. But it's the darkness hormone which sends the signal to the body to go into rest and repair. But melatonin also has a very important other function. It is actually a cancer suppressant. So we all have a tendency towards throwing off the odd cancer cell or mutated cell. Melatonin helps suppress those cells, stop them from growing. So when you suppress melatonin, you are suppressing the body's ability to inhibit cancers growing in your body. That's really key. And so that's one part of it. And then, of course, the disruption of the clocks of the body also makes cells more likely or likely to mutate. So that's one of the key things. And then when we get to other diseases, like obesity, diabetes, the blue content in light. And this is not, we're not talking about police lights when we talk about blue light. It's not like flashing blue lights. We're talking about
Yeah.
light that looks harmless and white, but it's got a lot of blue in it. And you can't see it with your eyes, but that blue component that's hidden in the spectrum of light, you'd only see in a rainbow type situation. That blue spectrum is what's causing the problem. So what it does, that blue part of the spectrum, is it actually makes us more hungry. People who are working in lights that are rich in blue, like modern LEDs, eat more. We find people snacking twice as many snacks on the night shift, for example. This is all other people on the night shifts. We find that that blue light also causes what's called insulin resistance. The effectiveness of insulin is reduced. So we can put just perfectly healthy people, no diabetic history, no problems with their blood sugar or anything else like that, put them in a room with regular LEDs on at night, and we can make them pre-diabetic by the morning. So there's a classic test for determining whether someone has got diabetes or not. It's called the glucose tolerance test. You drink a bottle of sugar water, and then the nurse takes every half hour or so a blood sample, and and when you measure the blood, glucose rises, insulin rises, they go up and they come back down again if you're healthy. If you're diabetic, the levels rise higher, both of insulin and glucose, and they stay up because the insulin isn't working properly. It's something called insulin resistance. Well, lo and behold, just regular healthy people put in a room full of LED lights for a night will actually become pre-diabetic. They will have, glucose tolerance tests that people would get flagged as having diabetes. So that it shows how quickly this can act. Now, something like breast cancer, that may take up to 5 years or more to actually develop. So that's not an effect you see immediately. But of course, the longer you work at night shifts or and also it's not night shifts that we should also say. It's also the danger of using the lights in the bedroom at night, because 40–50% of the population actually keeps lights on in the bedroom at night. And so we know that people who do that, they're not working, they're just have the lights on the bedroom, also have increased risk of breast cancer. Prostate cancer also in men, for example, but breast cancer in women, and colorectal cancer. And what we now know is all those cancers are climbing rapidly. So breast cancer rates are climbing at 4% per year. That means that if there were 100 people with breast cancer last year, there are 104 people this year, new cases this year. So the actual number of new cases is accelerating, and people are scratching their heads and saying why. And why? I believe there's a very obvious reason. It's because of this impact of these LED lights, blue-rich LED lights, which, it's what every 90%, 95, 99% of what's in the store are blue-rich LED lights these days. And they're causing this problem. And it's so addressable.